Hockey is brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit mysocalkia.com. By Mercury Insurance. Save big on your auto insurance. Get a fast, free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today to see how much you can save.
Hey, welcome back. We are moments away from dropping the puck here at Staples Center. The Kings and the Coyotes at Staples Center. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Former King Sean O'Donnell joins me right now. The scratches, Sean, just announced. 5-13-27. Ellerby hasn't played all season, but we're without Martinez and Clifford. As far as that, so that means Daniel Carcillo is in there, and you really liked Stoll, Carcillo, and Fratton last game.
Yeah, we touched on a little bit in the pregame how we thought Fratton had a pretty good game. And there were moments where Daryl Sutter went to Stoll, Carcillo, and Fratton, and I thought they did some good things. Stoll's a very good two-way player, and you get Carcillo and Fratton out there that can do something physically. And I played with Dan Carcillo. You give him the puck, he can make some pretty nice plays. So we'll see if Daryl, maybe experiments with that line as the game goes on a little bit more.
All right, certainly it's always interesting. Great rivalry when you have the Kings and the Coyotes. These rivalries built in the playoffs. It's a divisional game, a 4-point game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go inside. Jim Fox in the ceremonial puck drop.
All right, Patrick, thanks very much. And of course, it is Hockey Fights Cancer night. Every team in the NHL will have a similar night at home during the month of October. The NHL coming together, its respective teams. Coming out to center ice right now, Tyler Fithian, 18 years old. He was at practice yesterday. Make-A-Wish Foundation arranged for him to go to practice. He wanted to skate with Andrzej Kopitar. He was able to do that on the ice. He had a great time. His brother AJ, his other brother Shane, his mom were there. So he gets a chance to kick it off here. Hockey Fights Cancer night at Staples Center. Shane Doan shake hands. Dustin Brown shake hands. Tyler shakes hands, and we're going to get things going. So congratulations to the Kings, the National Hockey League. It's a great initiative. It started a while ago, but it's really great how this league comes together. You see it in other sports, too, the month of October, trying to raise money to battle cancer. Dodge matchup in goal. Jonathan Quick, numbers on the season, one game above 500. Everyone wants to get the goals against down and wants to get the save percentage up. We'll see if the Kings can do that. Again, the Coyotes scoring a lot of goals this year. For the Coyotes in goal, familiar face in Mike Smith. He gets the job done. Of course, he's an offensive threat. Scored a goal the other night into an empty net. You can see 11th goaltender ever to score a goal. The officials for tonight's game, that man right there is Eric Ferlat. He'll be joined by Justin St. Pierre. On the lines, Darren Gibbs and Shane Heyer. Tonight's Fox Sports West face-off is delivered by Shumash. Right now, play-by-play, Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. The Coyotes win the opening face-off and drive it into the Kings zone, and Shane Doan is on the ice. He's their captain. He got hurt in practice the other day, missed the game the other night, and loose puck in the slot just swept away there after Doughty got knocked down. But Doan was a game-time decision. A penalty coming up here, and holding is going to be the call.
Well, the Kings found themselves running around a little bit there. They had a chance to move the puck, did not do so early, but that's because the Coyotes may be a little too aggressive on the play. Doan skates off, Vermette skates to the penalty box, and holding's the call. So we talked to Drew Doughty a couple of weeks ago, Bob, and he put a loss squarely on his own shoulders for a turnover early in the game. Almost had one right there, but again, it was because the Coyotes too extra aggressive. Now you have that opportunity. We talked about the Kings staying in the box, early power play.
And off the draw here, the Coyotes with it, and it's cleared all the way down the King zone. So Vermette goes 2 minutes for holding, 21 seconds after the opening faceoff, and the Kings with a chance on the power play. They're 15th in the league on the power play. Here's Kopitar, right side, back to Kopitar. Save made by Smith. Loose puck in front. Kopitar again, shoots, he scores! The first goal by a Kings center this season, Kopitar. He warmed up with Ellen DeGeneres yesterday, and he gets the first goal tonight. 1-0 Kings.
Kopitar helped raise $10,000 yesterday. They matched what Ellen DeGeneres was doing. Watch what happens. The Coyotes, 14 right in the middle of the screen right now. Watch him. He's going to end up, that's Jeff Halpert. He loses his stick, so he ends up going to the bench. What that does, it allows this entry. It doesn't turn immediately into a goal, but if he's in his normal position, probably slows down the entry. Kopitar gets the rebound, gets the loose puck. That's one thing the Kings have been doing very well, especially specifically Dustin Brown. Keep pucks alive, second, third opportunities, power play. Hugely important, and maybe more important, a goal by a Kings centerman.
Kopitar with his first goal of the year, and the Kings with a 1-0 lead. Looks like Williams will probably get an assist on it. They haven't announced the assist yet. Puck comes into the corner of the Coyote zone, taken by Fratton to the blue line to Green. His shot is up high and off the boards, held in again by Richards. Richards is on the ice now and is passed to Fratton. It's Richards, and now Carter in the slot. Here's Carter. He shoots, knocked down in front. Richards got a stick on it, but poked away from him. Back to center ice, Radim Verbata. Verbata moves it across the line. Chipchura can't hold it in. Now it's taken by the Kings back in their own zone. And the Kings jump out to the lead here, 1-0. Puck sent all the way back down into the Coyote zone and broken up there. And the Coyotes get it up ahead to center ice to David Moss. Now Moss on the right wing, gets a return pass, shoots from there, and a save by Quick. And he covers up with Mikkel Bodker right in front of the net.
Entry into the zone is so important. The Kings built up speed on that last breakout on the power play. Doughty to Kopitar again. The entry you see just getting on the ice. Right there's Halpern, but he's too late. The first chance, great save. Brown keeps it alive, and then Williams keeps it alive. It's a kind of a loose puck, broken play. At the same time, credit for Kopitar for keeping his legs moving and staying around the area. But I think that one started way back in the neutral zone with the entry speed. You get the speed, you get the entry, you get a chance to set it up.
And the Coyotes win the draw here to Schlemko. His shot knocked away by Quick. Comes over into the left wing corner. Moss goes for it there. He tried to throw it behind the net. Picked up there, and the Coyotes keep it alive in the King zone. All the way to the blue line. Ribeiro, he throws it into the corner. Moss turned around, fanned on a shot. Coyotes still have it. Pressuring in the King zone. Back to the blue line. David Schlemko shoots, just tipped wide to the right side by Moss. Now going forward is Stoll. Stoll up against the boards. He gets some help there from Voinov. Voinov digs it out, but Coyotes take it away. Pass into the corner to Bodker. Bodker gets knocked down. Ribeiro with it. Back to the blue line. Shot from there is wide, and rebound off the boards. Again, the Coyotes keep the pressure on. Now it's taken away by the Kings in their own zone. Pass up the right side. Can they get it to center? Yes, they will. Out to center ice. Kings with it. The goal by Kopitar. Williams and Brown get the assist. 42 seconds into the game. Power play goal. Coyotes clear it, and an icing call here against Phoenix.
Well, what to watch for tonight, Bob? The forecheck. Everyone on the Kings has been talking about this. More sustained forechecks on a consistent basis. The lines, they've been shuffled up. We'll see if that'll have an effect. Of course, the goal scored was a power play goal, not necessarily because of lines moving around or changing. Actively, both teams have at least two defensemen that love to generate some offense. They jump into the play at the right time. So both teams looking to shut down the other team's top D.
Now the Coyotes start out of their own zone and bring it up ahead to center to the King blue line, and a check thrown there by Jake Muzzin on Jeff Halpern, who was with the Kings at one point in his career. It got him at the trade deadline, but he never did much here in a King uniform. Coyotes back in their own zone. Kings with a 1-0 lead. You heard Sean O'Donnell on the pregame show. Key to the game, score the first goal. Well, let's see if that holds up. Kings do get the first goal. Pass up ahead to center ice out of the reach of Jeff Carter and sent back down into the King zone by Brandon Yip.
Because it's a power play, Bob, and we'll see, there's still a long way to go, but at the same time, the Kings this year have had chances early in games on power plays. It's not about the percentage, it's about the timing, and of course, get that first one. Well, that one there, you had top players at top speed to make it happen.
That's the 6th time this season. In this, the 11th game that the Kings have scored first. 3-2 so far. Carter throws it wide to the left. Rebound out to Willie Mitchell. Mitchell, left point. He sends it off the boards. Kings keep it alive. Here's Carter. Carter got spun around. Puck is loose in the corner. Matt Fratton with it. Comes in front of the net. And a loose puck knocked down. Fratton again tried to get his stick on it. He did. He shoots. And a save by Smith. Pretty good hustle and battle in front of the net by Fratton.
Yeah, Fratton, I thought, had a good game last game, too. I heard Sean talking about that in the pregame show. I thought he was around the puck. He's moving. He's being physical. And right there, keeping it going with his line mates. Anze Kopitar gets on the board. And, you know, Bob, we mentioned it from time to time. Just want to bring it up once again about Anze. Has not scored a goal this year until tonight. But you talk about a guy who is a true professional, being accessible to the media before, after games, during games, practices, days. He's there. He's there to face the music. He's been playing solid hockey, just not some offense. Tonight he finally gets it. Just nice to see for a guy who gives everything on and off the ice to his team.
Kopitar again. He sends it in front. Score! Nice pass to King. And Dwight King makes it 2-0. Couldn't have been better, Jimmy. You just mentioned that, and he makes a perfect pass.
Dave Tippett's team a little bit stunned here to start. This is a type of play you practice just about every day, where you use the boards for cycles and those types of things. Kopitar, what, between his own legs? No, behind his own back. And then the quick release. So behind the back's deceptive. No one expects the pass, but watch King. Touch, shoot. There's no wasted time. Gets a little help right there. A little bit of traffic off to the side. Looks like Mike Smith has to move away from the traffic. In doing so, that short side opens up. But the pass by Kopitar, right off a face-off. Stay on the puck, gain possession of that puck. Quick release, 2-0 Kings.
Kopitar with a goal and an assist already in this game. And we haven't played 5 minutes yet. King with a goal. Kopitar with the assist at 4:17, and the Kings with a 2-0 lead. For Kopitar, he had a slump in the regular season at the end of last year, going 16 games without a goal, and then hadn't scored until tonight. So that's his first in the regular season in 27 games. Now, he did score in the playoffs, but I'm sure he's relieved to see that puck go in on the first goal for the Kings tonight. Puck down in the Kings zone. Behind the net is Lewis. Moves it off the right side and up to center ice. Kings get it ahead now, and here's Regeer. Regeer sends it over to Brown. He got hit up around the face, and then he comes back. They're going to get Brown now.
They're going to get interference against Morris. You're right, Bob. But Brown went back at him, but Morris stepped into him the first time, got his gloves up. In essence, almost punched Dustin Brown in the face. He kind of got away with that, but then he had to go back later. There's the initial contact. Now watch him get in the way right there. There's he's just jumping in the way, preventing Dustin Brown from getting the forecheck going. No penalty here. You know, the referee just felt not enough. But when Morris changes directions, you see him skate, now he's going to leave the zone. He was going to change his lane, made his further contact, and that's the reason. So another chance, early chance once again. Man advantage Kings.
Kings in the Coyote zone. They get caught down in the corner. Fratton got checked, and the puck bounces out to center ice. Boy, the Kings can make a big move to take control of this game here. And now Carter gets knocked down at the blue line. Fans want a penalty there, but the puck comes back into the Kings zone. And behind the net is Quick. He sends it over to Doughty. We're in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, and the Kings have an early 2-0 lead, and they've got the power play again. Across the line, over to Muzzin. Muzzin gets stopped there. The Coyotes dig it out and clear it to center, and almost got it to David Moss, who would have perhaps had a breakaway. He chases it back into the King zone. Carter is there, but Moss controls. Now Fratton over to poke it free, over to Williams. Here's Williams. We're in the first period. The Kings have 1:05 left to go in their power play, and they've got a 2-0 lead. No shots yet on this power play as the Kings bring it up to center ice. Doughty drops it back. Taken across the line by Kopitar. Kopitar fires it behind the nets. Broken up there and not cleared out yet. Held in by Brown. Right side over to Williams. Williams into Brown in the corner. Brown checked there by Ekman Larson. Puck is back to the blue line. Kings get it over to Stoll. Stoll left point. Stoll's pass to Kopitar. Kopitar in deep to Brown. Brown tried to give it up the middle to Williams. Tipped away but held in by Kopitar. To the blue line to Stoll. To Kopitar. Kopitar shoots, blocked, and the Coyotes chip it out to center ice.
Schlemko did the job there, went down to one knee, didn't get in a position to block the shot.
Kings again. Here's Williams across the line. Coyote zone. Williams hanging on to the blue line. Gets it back again. Williams, his shot knocked down, and just fanning on the rebound was Kopitar. He had an open corner of the net, too, with a good chance there. 8 seconds to go in the King power play, and this is scooped up by Quick, and he hangs on to it for a face-off.
Well, a couple of other opportunities here for the Kings. You have a couple of bounces over sticks, those things, but the energy, the urgency, certainly there for the Kings. And so far, it's still early. I've mentioned that once already. Impressed with the five-man unit speed of the Kings, whether it's been even strength or man advantage. Everyone coming up together at the same rate of speed, but there to support each other, so you get that speed together working, and you get the entries.
Here is Yandel. Yandel, his shot knocked down and deflected wide, and in the King zone, played there, down in deep and poked behind the net by Carcillo. Now to the blue line. Coyotes hold it in. Right point it goes. Taken there, and a shot is deflected, and a rebound knocked down by Quick. He went diving toward the post, and he made the save after the first shot by Zbynek Michalek.
Second opportunity, Quick, spectacular, diving across. Colin Fraser, I believe, is going to the penalty box. No, it's Willie Mitchell. So coming back, the Coyotes will be on the power play. They have the great start. They have the 2-0 lead. Mitchell in the box for high sticking. He was trying to clear out Hansel in front on the last exchange. Now the puck was bouncing. Now watch the puck down low. The stick will go high right into the face of Hansel. But there's the glove of Quick not giving up. Even though it was bouncing and it wasn't a hard shot, Hansel would have scored there if not for Jonathan Quick diving back with a glove. Again, Mitchell's worried about wrapping up the big centerman, and he did so, but the stick was around his neck. So the official call, high stick. No question about that one. Chance for the Coyotes here to get right back into it after the 2 goals by the Kings.
Coyotes' first power play opportunity tonight. They are 19th in the league. The King penalty killing, 9th in the league, but penalty killing was the King downfall in the last game.
They're just pointing out to both teams right now, at least, it looks like the clock is malfunctioning as far as the time remaining on the penalty. So they're going to take a second to see if they can get that up on the board. If not, they can resume action there. They have it up on the board now. So it took a while, a little bit of a malfunction. Now both teams have a chance to see it up on the scoreboard.
And the faceoff is in the King zone. Kings in the last game, 64% on the faceoffs. This one, though, is taken by the Coyotes. They get it to Derek Morris, right point. His pass back to the blue line. Now back to Morris. Morris shoots. Blocked and held in again by the Coyotes. Back to Morris at the right point. He slides it over on the left wing side, and a pass back to him at the point. Now down along the boards to Ribeiro and back to Morrison, and it hopped over his stick, and Yandel has to chase it down.
Now Ribeiro will be the half-wall quarterback right there. That's where he wants to go. You want the puck on his stick as much as possible, especially here, man advantage.
Ribeiro, number 63, has points in 7 straight games as the Kings clear it again. 9 points in those 7 games for Mike Ribeiro.
Just keep an eye on Robin Reguer. He went to the bench after that last shift, blocked the shot, hit him in the arm, I believe. Looks like he's flexing the arm on the bench. Looks like he's going to be okay, but certainly did a good job blocking.
He's poking ahead. They got a chance for a shorthander. Here's Carter. He shoots. Save, rebound. He couldn't get it in. Didn't get a great shot on the rebound, but he got his stick on it. So Carter gets stopped. Boy, that would have been a shorthander for the Kings. Now the puck in the King zone. Right side. Here is Ribeiro. Mike Ribeiro, signed by them as a free agent, gets it back to the left point, and a fan on it there, and it's cleared. His fanning on it was Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah, it looks like the Kings putting extra pressure up high on the defenseman. We talked about that as a what to watch for. I was talking more even strength, but the defenseman a key to the team here, especially Ekman-Larsson made the pass right there.
Long pass on the left wing side to Antoine Vermette. Vermette gets checked, but the Coyotes jump on it again. Here's Vermette again to the blue line, to Schlemko, to Vermette, right side, picked up by Larsson. A shot and a save by Quick. Where's the puck? Is it underneath? No whistle yet. Now he gets the whistle.
He may get some help here from Drew Doughty. Didn't look like initially he had it covered. He was very aggressive, Quick was, and he had to. Ekman-Larsson ends up right there, point blank. Good movement by the Coyotes. But then the goaltender, there's that block shot I was talking about. Reguer takes it high on the arm. And then the Kings had the chance with Jeff Carter later on. Get a chance to see the explosive nature of the skating of Jeff Carter. It's Mike Richards who just kind of shovels it ahead to him. He knows because of the speed of Carter, he's going to get there. There's Quick. Look at the aggressiveness right there. Top of the crease, Doughty in behind, pokes it underneath the goaltender, saves one for the tender. Quick holds on for the draw.
Kings scratches tonight. Keaton Ellerby, Kyle Clifford, Alec Martinez. Kings win the draw, and it's cleared by Green with 15 seconds now left to go on the King penalty. Coyotes back in their own zone. Coyotes up to center ice. They have a point in 7 straight games. Here's Doan on the right wing. Doan gets it back to the blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson moves it left side, and it is taken away, and the Kings back at full strength out of the penalty box. Willie Mitchell, and the Kings clear to center ice.
Now, the best chance was the Ekman-Larsson shot. We just saw it there earlier. Quick made the save. Doughty helped out.
Poke checked again. Back out to center ice, this time by Brown. Both teams at full strength here in the first period. 10-13 to go in period number 1. Now inside the King zone, they get it up ahead to center ice. Poked down the right side by Colin Fraser, but taken away and cleared into the King zone, where chased down by Jake Muzzin. Muzzin gets hit hard, but he gets it off on the right side to the blue line. A shot by Yandel, though, is wide. Yandel, a defenseman, led the Coyotes in scoring last year. Here's Colin Fraser, 2-on-1. He shoots, save, rebound, score! On the rebound the Kings have a 3-0 lead.
When your fourth line gets one, that is a huge bonus. Now credit these guys because Fraser keeps it simple. You'll see what happens. It goes around the boards. The Coyotes flood the zone, then they get caught. Forward did not back up the pinching defenseman. Shoot, rebound. Again, you practice this all the time, but a lot of times you get in the game, a guy will be a little too cute. Not the case with Fraser. You make the goaltender make the stop. You shoot on purpose sometimes into his pad because you know from that point-blank nature there will be a rebound. There is. Kings lead 3-0.
Nolan gets his second of the year. It comes at equal strength, and the puck is not cleared out of the Kings zone yet. So a great start here in the first period for the Kings. They have a 3-0 lead on goals by Kopitar, King, and Nolan. Puck comes up to center ice, and Coyotes back at their own blue line to get it. Nolan from Fraser on the 2-on-1, and Brown with his second assist of the game, and the Kings with a 3-0 lead. Here is Carter now for the Kings. He's starting back up to center. Carter, now it's a 3-on-2 for the Kings. Carter across the line, tried to get a return pass, tipped away, and the Coyotes, Hansel, leaves it at his own blue line, and now Phoenix sends it into the Kings zone. Here's Mitchell and Hansel going for it. Mitchell takes Hansel out, and the puck along the boards. Coyotes try to hold it in, comes toward the corner, sent behind the net in the Kings zone to Carter. Carter had it stripped, pass up the middle, tipped away, and out to center ice by Slava Voinov.
Well, good job there by the Kings to have those layers that you want in the defensive zone. A little bit of a turnover, but the layer is there to break it up.
Martin Hansel to Radim Verbata. Verbata for Phoenix. Puts it behind the King net. Coyotes jump on it there, but it's poked away to Willie Mitchell. Mitchell gets checked and knocked off balance, but the Kings have it, and back they come to center over to Kopitar. Kopitar just out of his reach off the boards, and now at center ice, the Kings back to take control and get it to Doughty. Here's Drew Doughty. Doughty into the Phoenix zone. Doughty cutting down the left side on the backhand. Turns to the forehand, but it's tipped behind the net and gloved by the goaltender Smith.
Little quick whistle right there, but Doughty showing some speed on the outside. Shot, pad, rebound, one-timer. The Kings have everyone involved tonight. They lead it 3-0.
Back, everybody. I'm Patrick O'Neill. It's Hockey Fights Cancer tonight for the LA Kings. Off to a great start, leading the Coyotes 3-0. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. I had this rumor. I heard a rumor that Drew Doughty had a hole-in-one at Riviera. A hole 6, 152-yard pitching wedge, and Justin Williams confirmed it. He was there. Not only that, Drew Doughty's also had an albatross, which is a double eagle on a par 5. The guy is absolutely nuts about golf. He joined 2 golf clubs back in London, Ontario, played 4 times a week in the offseason. He's lowered his handicap from like a 25 to about a 10, so he's shooting in the 80s, and he's playing video golf when he's not playing hockey. Guys, back to you.
Boy, he gets hooked on a sport, doesn't he? Puck comes over to Doughty. Doughty's shot deflected up and out of play, and a face-off coming up.
I've never played golf with Drew Doughty, Bob, but I would imagine it's less about finesse and more about swinging from the heels. I could just picture him getting involved in that. And now he has a chance to play quite a bit, and he would just get up to the tee and just whack it.
Kings had 3 goals in 9 minutes and 32 seconds here tonight. They have a 3-0 lead. They scored 42 seconds into the game. Not close to a Kings record. Tiger Williams has that. 7 seconds at the start of a game. And back up to center ice. Chipped into the Kings zone and chased in by Doan. And Regehr gets there as the icing is called against the Coyotes.
Do you have a child ages 4 through 8? Like to learn the sport of ice hockey? Registration now open for the 2014 Little Kings Learn to Play hockey program presented by CCM Hockey Monkey. First time boys and girls, head to toe. Free CCM equipment, 6 on-ice sessions, 14 Southern California locations. More information, visit LAKings.com/Lil Kings. That's L-I-L Kings.
Face off in the Coyote zone, and Brown gets it back to the right point, and Voinov drive deflected back behind the net. Kings keep the puck alive in the Coyote zone as Stoll dropped it off. Now it comes to the blue line, and the Kings hustle over there, and it's held in by Trevor Lewis. Puck is not cleared out yet, but the Coyotes have it in their own zone. Jim, the Kings have skated very well in this first period. They've got some jump right from the opening faceoff.
And again, I think the support is very important too, where you have 5 guys kind of helping each other out, so that speed, you have the ability to keep it going because someone's right there to help you out just in case you get in trouble.
That fastest goal at the start of a game in Kings history, 7 seconds by Tiger Williams, February 14th, 1987 against Hartford. And the Kings bring it back across the line into the Coyote zone, but it's tipped away from Voinov, but held in again now as Stoll threw it down into the corner. 6:47 to go in the first period, and the Kings jump out to a 3-0 lead. Puck comes to the blue line near the penalty box, now sent on the right side. Chased down there by Fratton. Fratton gets checked and knocked down by Yandel. Puck is picked up by the Kings, though. Here's Richards. Richards lost it there, and the Coyotes are going to have a chance to clear, and they do, up to center ice to Moss. Now thrown down into the corner of the King zone, and over to help out is Carter. Doughty is there. Williams pokes it free, and Fratton jumps over to get a stick on it. Now Doughty covers up. He put it behind the net to Regehr. Regehr with a check on Moss. Moss back to the blue line. Taken there, and McCulloch with a shot blocked in front and picked up by the Kings, and back they come to center ice. Kings are going to change on the fly, though, as they drive it deep into the Coyote zone.
Good decision there by Drew Doughty. Had some good one-on-ones with Bodker, maybe a little tired. Had a chance to join the attack. Right decision. Go to the bench, get a change.
Radim Verbata out to get it on the right wing, but the Kings take it away as Muzzin had it. Now Fraser. Fraser ahead toward Nolan. They scored the last time out on that 2-on-1. It was Nolan with the assist from Fraser and Brown to make it 3-0 Kings. Now here is Fraser. Fraser over to Nolan. Nolan, right wing. Gets a backhander, went wide. Rebound off the boards is taken by the Coyotes. They put it deeper into their own zone. And Carcillo going for it there, but he couldn't catch up to it. Now Carcillo tried to get to it, but Derek Morris has it back behind the net. Morris, 36 years old in his 16th year. Verbata moves it ahead. A shot deflected by Willie Mitchell. A shot by Martin Hansel. Hansel tried to get to it again. Put it back behind the net. Coyotes now trying to keep some pressure on here in the King zone. As the puck comes along the boards, Verbata holds it in to Hansel. Hansel checked again by Willie Mitchell. Over to Nolan. Nolan double-teamed along the boards in the King zone, but he got it up ahead. But Hansel gets his stick on it again.
Yeah, the Coyotes are putting on the pressure with a forecheck here.
Now up the middle, a pass to the blue line. McCulloch with a shot blocked and not cleared out yet. Now it is. The block broke the stick of Carcillo. He goes over to the bench.
He was just standing there, Bob. He was in the lane, did the right thing, but then the stick just shattered. Good job. Blocked the shot.
Now the Kings in their own zone again. After a check by Dwight King at center ice. King goes for it, sends it into the Coyote zone, and Coyotes back to get it. Over now to McCulloch.
Kings did not get pressure on the last rush, Bob, but they broke out of their end quickly and cleanly. That's been another point of emphasis for the Kings in the last little while. Get back there, get available, and move the puck.
Doughty back to get it. He moves it up to center ice. Doughty's pass. Taken there and snapped down in by Brown. Brown with a couple of assists. He had 1 point in 6 games coming in tonight, and he's got 2 assists already in this game. Puck taken by the Coyotes and backhanded out to center ice by Rob Klinkhammer. Oh, the Colonel. Colonel Klink.
You got it. Now we just have to trade for Jeff Schultz.
Schultz. Puck is at center ice and taken by the Coyotes. Shane Doan. Doan on the right wing. Doan shoots just wide to the right. Now Doan with it again, but he's checked by Muzzin. Poked away the Kings. Brown without a stick, but he throws a check at Schlemko, and the Kings bring it out to center. Now on the right side, a shot gloved by the goaltender Smith. Shot was by Trevor Lewis, and Smith with a glove save, and now we're coming down to 3:05 to go in the first period.
You saw that puck handling with Smith. We talked about it. No one transfers the puck quicker from a save to a passing or shooting position as a goaltender than Mike Smith. A lot of goaltenders handle it well, they move it well, but he can catch it, move it down to his stick, and right on your stick, going the other way. Kings
with 3 goals in 9 minutes and 32 seconds in this first period. Not a King record. They had 3 and 41 seconds back in 1989. Steve Duchesne, Wayne Gretzky, and Steve Duchesne again in the first period against St. Louis. Phoenix has had no shots in the last 8.5 minutes. Here's Derek Morris. Doug Mann, our statistician, busy here in the first period tonight. Puck comes down into the right wing corner of the King zone. Kopitar gets it to Doughty. After that check by Regehr, who's back in action. And here's King to center ice. King, right side, drops it back. Here's Williams. Justin Williams in the corner. His pass, left point, shot by Regehr. Score! May have been tipped in front. Regehr got the shot. Dwight King looked to get his stick on it, and it's 4-0 Kings.
Once again, the breakout works for the Kings. Justin Williams collapsed down low. The Kings able to get it to the zone. Now the shot is perfect because Robin Regehr is not shooting to score there. And then you have King facing the shooter. That's the fundamental. Between his own legs. Smith opens up. Again, the leg pads and goaltenders change this year. They're a little shorter. Maybe a little room between the pads. But again, that's a 200-foot goal. The Kings broke out of their zone so effectively they get to the offensive zone, moving around. Everyone doing their job. Wow. Obviously the best period so far this season. Maybe in a couple seasons for the Kings. They lead it 4-0.
And Dwight King gets his second of the game, his third of the year. Regehr gets an assist. He got the shot. And it was tipped in very nicely by King. And Justin Williams gets an assist. So what a period, as Jim said, for the Kings. 4-0 Kings first period.
You know, talk about the rivalry and the nastiness and those types of things. With a close score, I wouldn't expect anything to get out of hand. Now, there's still a long way to go, but if it still maintains this type of deficit, that's normally when you get those situations where one team or the other gets a little bit nasty.
In case you're wondering, the backup goaltender is Thomas Bryce, who used to be with San Jose. We may see him before this game is over.
Yeah, again, it would be one of those situations, Bob, where you really wouldn't blame the goaltender because, you know, Mike Smith has been hung out to dry a couple times in this period. The last one, perfect deflection. Nice low shot by Robin Regehr.
Now the Coyotes in the King zone, trying to get one before the end of the period. See if the Kings can keep them off the board. Coyotes hold it in again. Vermette sent it in deep. 45 seconds to go in the period. Kings poke at it. Here's Richards, has it on his stick. He gives it to Carter. Carter up ahead to center ice and backhands it in the Coyote zone. Taken there by Keith Yandel. He got it out to center ice, but King breaks it up. Now under 30 seconds to go in the first period. End of the period, Jim Fox will talk with one of the Kings. We got a lot of stars to pick from here in this period.
I might have to talk to the team picture.
Puck comes all the way back into the King zone, and Drew Doughty back to get it. Fans applauding this period, and well, they should. This has been a tremendous first period for the Kings. Listen to the crowd. Kopitar with a shot and a glove save by Smith. 2 seconds to go in the first period.
Well, if you're the Coyotes, you've got to slow down that neutral zone because right now the Kings are eating it up. They're breaking out. They get speed. You get entry. You get shots, and Dave Tippett looks on. I mentioned earlier because of the two early goals, maybe stunned. That power play goal so big. First power play of the game. Early on, you get that goal, of course, big because it was because Anze Kopitar getting on the board too.
Anze Kopitar will join Jim at the end of this period. He got it started. Here is King with a shot, and that's the end of this first period. And the Kings get 15 shots, and they hold the Coyotes to 5. And you said it, best period in a long time.
Surprise, surprise. Very quick comment here, Bob. 4-0.
4-0 Kings, and they dominate period number one. The first goal by Kopitar, then King with 2, Nolan with 1, and the Kings have a 4-0 lead. When we come back, Jim Fox with Anze Kopitar. Kings Hockey is brought to you by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. By Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Now at your Honda dealer. And by Jack in the Box. Satisfy your late night cravings with Jack's Munchie Meal. Available after 9 p.m. at participating restaurants.
Welcome back again, Staples Center. Wow, what a first period, 4-0. Still a long way to go. Mike Smith faced 15 shots, allowed 4 goals. And right now he is on the end of the bench. So, Bob, you touched on it earlier. Expected perhaps Thomas Greiss comes into goal. You pull the goaltender, try to refocus your team, get them going back on track. Still 40 minutes to go, but the Kings with that big 4-goal lead.
And the second period underway. Greiss is now in his 3rd game this season. And an offside called against the Coyotes. He's won 1 of those. And against the Kings, it's his 4th game lifetime. He is 1 win and 1 loss against the Kings.
The goals that went in, the first one by Kopitar, of course, was one of those where it was a shot with a lot of traffic and a second opportunity, not the goaltender's fault. King, quick release. You have the attacks a couple of times. You have the deflection between the legs, all those things going on. Not necessarily the fault of the goaltender, but many times you use that to kind of almost embarrass your own team, your teammates, and say, hey, guys, you got to get it going here.
Williams throws it in front, but it's broken up, and the Coyotes with a chance to clear, but they can't. Kopitar took it away. He shoots, and a save by Grice, and a rebound picked up by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Puck tipped out to center ice and into the King zone. Regehr going back to pick it up. Regehr with it. He gives it to Doughty. Now back up to center ice. Is Doan into forecheck, and he's going to go over to the bench. He went down to the ice, Jim. I don't know if we said that he was injured and missed the last game, but he's in the lineup tonight. But I don't know if he fell awkwardly there and went over to the bench. We'll keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bench right now. He's not talking to a trainer or anything like that. He's just kind of sitting there alone. Looks like he's okay.
Puck is in the Coyote zone. The Kings trying to get to it. Here's Brown. Brown goes forward. He's got a couple of assists in the game already. And the puck back into the King zone and chased down, and a penalty coming up here.
Jake Muzzin was skating back in the middle. And the referee, Jake's going to the penalty box. I didn't see any indication as far as a signal. I'm going to assume interference. Exactly what happened on the ice. High stick, okay, same situation. The puck was dumped in. Muzzin was in a position where he had to turn and go after the puck. So early first period, the Kings had a power play. Keep in mind, right there, left side of the screen, Muzzin, well, right there. He just kind of, no question. There it is, stick right to the forehead. So it could have been interference, but the way he interfered was with a high stick. So you get the high stick call. Chance here. You always get worried when you have a big lead early in a game because there's so much time and the other team just looking for, just looking to try anything. They have nothing to lose at this point.
And the puck back behind the net and hopped out of play. And so Muzzin for high sticking at 1:12. Phoenix is on their second power play of the game. They had no shots on the previous one. The Kings tonight, Dwight King with 2 goals, Kopitar a goal and an assist, Williams with 2 assists, Brown with 2 assists. Williams has points in 3 straight games now, 6 points in those 3, and that was all in the first period. Kings win the draw. Comes over on the right side to Dwight King, and he clears. He's got 2 goals on 2 shots.
You know, Bob, and you get the feeling with Dwight King, you see when he scores the goal, and it's an observation that the Kings want more of that, obviously, and sometimes with Dwight, it's like, it's a surprise. They want more of that. If he keeps driving to the net and plays with guys like Kopitar, he's going to be in a chance to score.
Here's Kopitar looking for a shorthander. Cuts in front and a save by Grice. He never really got the shot he wanted. It rolled off his stick, and Grice knocked it away.
Yeah, he's skating. He's getting to the puck, and just when he picked it up, Bob, I think he lost control from the beginning, and you're right, never got it to a position where he could get the shot he wanted on net.
Morris throws it into the King zone. Coyotes on the power play, and a hard check down in the corner as the puck comes up to the blue line and forced out to center ice. Carter went for it. He didn't get it, but the Kings do have it. They give it to Carter again. Willie Mitchell to Carter. Carter across the line. Carter right side. He's looking for a shorthander. Shoots and a save by Grice. Rebound taken away by Carter, but then his pass intercepted by Radim Verbata. Coyotes back up to center with 48 seconds left to go in the power play. Ribeiro throws it into the corner. Willie Mitchell with a bouncing puck. Clears it the length of the ice. Coyotes with no shots on the first power play and none so far on this man advantage. They've got 33 seconds left on it. Puck comes up to center ice and offside, so they have to hang on and not bring it across the line. Now they do, and it's taken away by Doughty, and he backhands it out to center ice.
No penetration at all here for the Coyotes. They can't get to the red line with control of the puck to make a decision. Not getting it in, not setting up.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson throws it into the King zone. Loose puck along the boards. Who's going to get to it? Vermette to the blue line. Here is Schlemko. Shoots and a save by Quick.
Well, Quick able to see that one all the way, so Schlemko takes it to the middle, but good box out, and Quick makes a relatively easy save. I was talking about Dwight King there, Bob. It's difficult to say because is he a 30-goal scorer? No. But going to the playoffs last year after a couple games, Dean Lombardi took him aside and said, hey, we need more from you. And he's in that stage of his career where if he keeps getting ice time with the guys he is now, it's not a surprise that you score. It's expected, and your teammates will want you to do that. He's a big body, goes to the front, decent set of hands. We've seen that before.
Ekman-Larsson shoots through a crowd and a save in the glove of Quick, and he had traffic in front of him. The Kings are back at full strength.
Yeah, the Coyotes this time take the wrist shot. Good election there by Ekman-Larsson. And again, there was traffic this time, and Quick did have to reach around. Watch this. He goes down low like most goaltenders. Wow, that goes right between the legs of Moss. Moss opens up his legs at the right time, and Quick able to kind of anticipate because he's in good position, top of the crease.
How does he see those?
I sure know. He take a, well, it's in my glove.
Phoenix went 13 minutes and 57 seconds without a shot going back to the first period. Now a real scramble in the face-off circle for the puck, and the Kings come out with it. Here's Dwight King. You're talking about Dwight King, and remember in the Stanley Cup year of 2012 in the playoffs, he had 5 goals in a 5-game stretch. And so he's kind of a streaky type scorer. If he gets a couple of goals in a couple of games, and then maybe he has a little drought for a while.
He doesn't have to score to play that hard. Ooh, right there.
Quick one to cover it up, and he couldn't, and it's back behind the net.
Yeah, he looked like he had his stick and glove there to cover, but missed it.
Kings come back to center ice. Here's Williams. Williams ahead to Kopitar. Shoots just wide. Kopitar with a rebound. Boy, he is on his game tonight. Kopitar into the corner. He's been on his game for most of the season, but with assists. Tonight, he is getting scoring chances, and he scored a shot and a save there on the shot by Derek Morris and a save by Quick.
We'll stay with Dwight King one more time, Bob, just to kind of emphasize the fact that it will become expected from his teammates, then it becomes expected of himself. And again, is he a 30-goal guy? Probably not. He can play the hard, heavy game that the Kings want him to play, but they need more. Left wing scoring has been an issue. They need more from that position, and he is the type of guy. He's got a good set of hands. Now, is he going to fill the net? No, but he still has to chip in.
Ribeiro on the draw here, but the Kings win the faceoff as Carter wins the draw. He's been a good faceoff man for the Kings so far this year. Puck back into the Coyote zone, and the Coyotes take control of it. Carter leading the team in shots coming into the game with 46. As the puck comes all the way back down into the King zone, and Drew Doughty back in to get it. Carter's face-offs coming into the game, 60.8%. Now up to center. Here's Fratton. Fratton tipped it over to Carter. To Fratton. He shoots on a save by Grice. Puck comes back into the corner. Cleared to the blue line, and Coyotes will bring it out to center ice.
The reason Mike Richards moves to left wing, Bob, is because the Kings experimented with Matt Fratton on the left side. They want him back on the right.
Here's Fratton. Gives it over now to Richards. His shot is up high and off the glass, and the Coyotes back to center ice. Mike Ribeiro, he was a free agent. They got him from the Washington Capitals. Puck is tipped away there and taken by the Kings and cleared out to center. Matt Green got his stick in the way of that pass by Ribeiro.
You have to do that with Ribeiro. He got the line. He stopped up. He looked around trying to set things up. You've got to put the pressure on him. The more time you give to Mike Ribeiro, he's like a quarterback in the pocket. He's going to find the open man. Barry's tickets. Upcoming schedule for the Kings. Sunday, Legends Night, Jay Wells, Bobble Fists. Then, of course, back-to-back at Phoenix, then here at Staples against San Jose. Nashville comes in. You see later on, you go down the board. So you see a couple of bunched-up games with back-to-backs, and then you see a little bit of time off. Daryl Sutter mentioned before the last game, maybe the Kings a little bit tired. After the game, maybe a little bit tired. Well, he had a couple days off. Not tired tonight.
You talked about Ribeiro. He was second in Washington Capital team scoring last year, and he led the NHL in power play assists with 21. Here in deep, Trevor Lewis. Coyote zone, drops it off there. Puck comes back toward the blue line. Slava Voinov throws it in deep. Brown looking for it. Dustin Brown with a couple of assists tonight. Gives it to Trevor Lewis. He gets knocked down. Ribeiro stays with him. Lewis still has it again. Poked away from him, but picked up again, and the centering, or a pass to the blue line, broken up and cleared back out to center ice by Chipchura.
Didn't work there, but just another example of maybe that forecheck starting to come back more consistently in the Kings game.
Now the right point, a shot wide as the Kings didn't clear it. It was held in, and a shot went wide from the point. Now Yandel puts it behind the net. Here it's taken away by the Kings, and they get it up ahead to Trevor Lewis. Lewis sends it up to center ice. Into the zone, a shot deflected, then a rebound batted down and played by the Coyotes. Brown and Lewis trying to get to it as the puck comes back up to center ice and tipped down into the King zone. Faced in by Green. Now along the boards, held in by Paul Bissonnette. He's the one that got suspended originally for 10 games in the preseason in that altercation with Nolan of the Kings, but then that was reduced. He only served about 3 regular season games of that suspension.
Yeah, part of that was, Bob, it's the preseason game, not as many cameras, TV coverage, those types of things, so you didn't have the support needed for the full 10. Lowered to 3.
That was a split squad that the Kings sent. One squad went down to Phoenix. The other one played Phoenix the same night here at Staples Center. So we'll keep an eye on this now, Jim.
Yeah.
You mentioned things as the game goes along could maybe kind of get out of hand, but not yet, although a little bit of shoving and jostling around there a few seconds ago.
Now you can take more liberties. If you're a King, you can do so. If you're a Coyote, you can do so, because, again, the deficit 4 goals, it's not like you're back in the game.
Nice breakout. Here's King. He's got 2 tonight. He hit the side of the net with a shot. Rebound to Williams. Williams has a point streak going. There's Regehr with a shot wide off the boards. And back out to center ice. And back checking is Kopitar. Picked up by the Kings again. Here's Dwight King. He gets held up as he chipped it across the line, and Keith Yandel back to get it. He moves it up on the left wing side, and now to center is the Klinkhammer. Klinkhammer puts it down into the corner. He gets checked there by Fratton. Puck comes around to Doan. So Shane Doan, I wondered earlier if he got upset a little bit there back at the blue line, and he's back in action, and an offside called against the Coyotes. 12:01 to go in the second period. Kings 4-0.
Staples Center, 4 goals, first period. Kopitar doing what he does best. Drive, power forward. Keep it alive a couple times. Teammates help out, then zing right there in the top corner. Kopitar skating in the first period. A power game. Important right there on that initial entry. You want the center lane drive, and that's what Kopitar provides. And you want the big bodies skating at top speed, and the Kings certainly were in the first period. Pretty good second period so far, defensively as a group. So far, not allowing very many. When's the last quality chance you can remember the Coyotes getting? I mean, it's been a while.
Kings have the draw again, and they have it in their own zone and cleared out to center ice, and Coyotes backpedaled into their own zone. The Coyotes on the year, 6-2-2 so far in their 10 games. Tied for second in the Pacific Division. Puck thrown down wide of the net, and Carter goes for it down the corner. Carter gets it to Richards. Richards to the blue line, held in there. Mitchell with a shot blocked. Picked up in the corner. Carter again. He just shovels it in deep. Then a wraparound in front, but went wide. Kings hold it in. That was Fratton going behind the net, and he threw it out in front.
He says he has to shoot more. Well, he's shooting from everywhere.
Here on the right side is Voinov. He shoots, and it's just wide to the left. Now Willie Mitchell with it. Now behind the net is Richards. Richards pass right side. Voinov with a drive. Blocked and back to center ice. Bodker got in the way of that, but coming back to take it away was Richards to give it to Stoll. Stoll shoots, and a save by Grice.
They're a little sloppy right there, but the Kings forcing those turnovers again because of the swarming puck pursuit. When the Coyotes turn over, Stoll has the shot the other way. Kings fans, you can now vote for the October McDonald's Player of the Month. That'll start tomorrow. Voting starts tomorrow. Visit LAKings.com/Player of the Month. Or you can also visit the LA Kings mobile app for details. Your vote counts. Do it right now, that time of the month. Player of the Month brought to you by McDonald's.
Scratches for the Coyotes tonight. David Rundblad. Last year he was Rundblad. Now he's Rundblad again. And Michael Stone and Lori Korpikoski, who's not on the trip. Puck is in the Coyote zone. This is Hockey Fights Cancer Night for the Kings here at Staples Center. And in addition to lavender ties that we're all wearing, and the players wore lavender warm-up jerseys, and they'll be auctioned off to raise money to fight cancer. And all of, I don't know if you can see it on TV, but all of the signage on the boards in lavender tonight. Puck to the blue line. Here's a shot and a save by Grice. Right in front was Stoll trying to tip in the shot by Muzzin. Now Green up the middle. Taken there and sent along the right wing boards, but broken up by Yandel, and he gets it over to Derek Morris. The Coyotes defensively, 18th in the league, giving up 2.67 goals a game. The Kings are 10th defensively in the league, but offensively, the Coyotes averaging 3.1 points a game, and the Kings 2.3, but it's been turned around tonight.
Yeah, we talked to Kopi after one. Bobby mentioned he skated yesterday after practice with Tyler that we had earlier with Patrick O'Neill, and played 2-on-2, Daryl Evans and I against Anjay and Tyler, and there's Daryl right there. And Tyler, we had the game where you had to hit the post or the crossbar. And, you know, Tyler's been, you could tell, he's played before, but first shot, crossbar. It was tied 3-3, best of 7. Tyler, off the crossbar, won the game 4-3.
There's a drive from the left point and knocked down. Loose puck in front. Who's got it? In front again. It's loose and taken by Doughty. Doughty checked along the boards there, and the Kings try to dig it out, and it's held in by Schlemko at the blue line. Over the right wing side, a hard check thrown there as Jeff Halpern got knocked down along the boards, and the Kings still don't clear. Here's Schlemko again. His shot comes right back to him, throws it off to the right point. Now in front, an easy goal there as it came right over to Halpern, and he had nobody near him. And that's the end of the shutout. It's 4-1.
Yeah, you get the bounce, but you just put it towards the net, and the bounce certainly was there. Halpern, former King, he had a cup of coffee with the Kings, and looks like he's back to health. Started in Finland this year. There's the shot through. Then you see the bodies. Now, as far as numbers, the numbers were okay, but Halpern hung in behind everyone. And because the puck did become a free issue, the wide open net was right there for him. So he puts it in, 9:33 remaining seconds, so you're just past the halfway point. Coyotes get on the board. It's not one of those run the Kings through the boards type of goals and to create a turnover. It's more of one of those fortunate bounces, but still reaction time. How do the Kings react? How do the Coyotes react?
Well, we'll see if the Kings can get that one back again. You mentioned Halpern with the Kings. He played 16 games with the Kings in March of 2010. A trade deadline acquisition, but he did nothing really with the Kings. He had 2 assists for 2 points in 16 games. The Kings traded Teddy Purcell to get him. There's a shot and a save by Quick on that shot from the left wing side by Klinkhammer. Now the puck back in the King zone again. So the Coyotes have some new life. A shot that came through and a save by Quick. Shot was back at the blue line by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Here is Kopitar. Now chipped up ahead to Williams. Williams between the legs pass. Kopitar trying to get there. He got checked by Vermette. And the puck driven back toward the King blue line. And now sent back in by Voinov to the Coyote zone.
I know I'm going to jinx it now, Bob, but both teams staying out of the penalty box. That was one of the issues the Kings talked about. So stay out of the box. Make sure the other team doesn't get a chance to build momentum.
Thrown in front there and a save by Quick as it was tipped. It was thrown in front by Bissonnette. Back along the ice into the Coyote zone where Derek Morris has it. And now cleared to the blue line, but not out. Kings held it in. Puck taken there by Schlemko and up in the air, batted down by Green. Green has control of it. He sends it up ahead to center ice and down the right wing side into the zone. Here's Carter. Carter in deep, threw it in front, and a save by Grice. And a penalty coming up here for hooking against the Coyote.
Yeah, it's Jeff Halpern, the guy who scored the goal. The Kings with speed on the outside. Carter. Richards drives, draws the penalty. We come back on the bench. Patrick O'Neill, Jared Stoll.
Mirror Jared Stoll, I guess it's really important right now not to give the Coyotes any life.
Yeah, for sure. We're playing okay. We can be better a little bit here in the second. We obviously had a great first, so we just got to have a big power play here, get that momentum back. We lost it a little bit, but I think we'll be all right.
I know you want to get in on some of the scoring, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah, it's good. We got 4 goals so far. It's nice. Nice change for once, but it'd be nice to put one in for sure.
You do. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Well, Jared's saying, the Kings have been playing well. Again, that goal against wasn't because the Kings were too aggressive or sloppy. Maybe you could argue sloppy coverage, but it was just one of those fortunate things. Get it through, someone's open, but keep getting back to what they're doing. Get it deep and put the pressure on.
Brown, Kopitar, and Williams up front on the power play. Doughty at the left point, Voinov at the right point, and the Coyotes clear it into the King zone.
I mentioned jinxing it as far as the power plays. Well, it went the good way this time. And again, it's an opportunity when the Coyotes were getting some life. Now they've got to kill one.
Williams, right point, sends it down to Kopitar. Back to Williams. Coyote zone. Williams cutting in. His pass in front, just out of the reach of Brown. Held in by Doughty. Here's Doughty with it down in the corner. Doughty to the blue line. Held in there. A pass over to Voinov. He shoots up high and off the glass over to Doughty. Doughty again in the corner. Now here's Kopitar. Back to the blue line. Taken there by Williams. Williams. Up the middle to Kopitar. Right side, Voinov again. Shoots. Tipped in front and just out of the reach there as it came wide to the left side. And Williams was there but couldn't get his stick on it.
I think Grice, Bob, got his pad on it the second time. If he doesn't do so, I think Justin Williams has the same open net that Jeff Halpern just had, but the quickness of the goaltender up high, then down low to make a couple stops.
Here's Carter, moves it ahead, down in deep. Here's Richards behind the net. Didn't get the shot, got it back to the blue line to Stoll. Stoll to Richards. Richards shoots, knocked down, loose puck. Carter to Doughty, and Grice covers it up and hangs on.
Grice's been pretty good here. He's had to be. Of course, you're defending a power play, and the Kings are moving it around. They're skating well once again. They're getting traffic to the front. Dustin Brown last year was told go to the front. We'll see it here. One save, and then right there, you see him get his leg pad out. Otherwise, Williams right in behind. Then later on, you're going to see the same thing from a different angle. Watch the pad. There. That blocks the pass. And the Kings now have 3 shots on this power play, so very active. Get it going, and the goaltender coming in with a 4-goal deficit, now down to 3, giving his team a chance.
Thomas Grice, he is from Germany. He's an avid cyclist. I think everybody in Europe is. Puck on the right side to Stoll. He shoots, knocked down in front, and the Coyotes pick it up, and they come back to center ice. Working on a 2-on-2. Down the left wing side, here's Chipchura, but he can't go in any deeper. Now he goes in to get it. Tried to get around Muzzin, and the puck along the boards is cleared out to center ice. And the Coyotes, with 12 seconds left to go on their penalty, drive it back behind the net. Kings with a 4-1 lead here in the second period. They got 4 in the first. Coyotes scored here in the second. Jeff Halpern getting the goal. Now Carter, right wing. Carter couldn't get in around Ekman Larson. And the Coyotes back at full strength. Out of the penalty box is Jeff Halpern. He fires it hard around the boards. Willie Mitchell over to get it for the Kings. Now to the blue line, but held in again by Bodker. Put it down the corner, Verbata. Now Bodker goes behind the net, threw it in front, and score! Hansel just threw it toward the net, and it deflected in.
Bob, I think it was in Jonathan Quick for a while there, and he didn't know where it was. I don't think anyone knew where it was. And I was just about to mention the Kings got to make sure you don't allow another one before the end of the period, but it was there, it was whacked, it was just on the goal line, and no one knew where it was. You'll see Bodker try the opportunity right there. It kind of gets stuck on the near post. It's on the near post. It's going to be put back, as you said, by Hansel. It's on the near post. It's on. There it is. So it was there for a split second, and then you just kind of wait for the goaltender to get into a situation where it looked like the skate was on the post initially, and then it just came off. And I'm going to credit Hansel for sensing that Jonathan Quick was not necessarily controlled. And players will get that feeling from a goaltender. You don't have to see the opening, you just feel it. And Hansel felt it, and that's why I think he just threw it. Well, keep an eye overhead here. Of course, you're looking right here at the post. Now, the skate is on the post right now, but it finds a way. It hits the back of the skate. So it's not like there was room, but again, I just felt that Hansel took a look at Jonathan Quick and said, this guy's not feeling good right now. I'm going to throw it back there. Now the Coyotes making it interesting.
We are now in that situation that we have mentioned so often. The next goal, how important is that going to be? If the Coyotes get it, they're right back in the game. Here is Kopitar across the line. Coyotes break it up. They get it to Yandel. So Hansel gets his 3rd of the year from Bodker and Verbata at 14-22.
And that power play, Bob, that the Kings had, and the goaltending by Grice, I mean, some big saves. The Kings had quality chances to keep it a 3-goal game at that time. Now, of course, down to a 2-goal game.
Mikkel Bodker gets it over now to Morris. He throws it in the Kings zone. 4:55 to go here in this second period, and the Kings trying to get out with at least hanging on to a 2-goal lead and see if they can increase it again as they drive it into the Coyote zone. Coyotes get it back to center ice. Klinkhammer throws it across the line, but the Kings back in to get it. And now it comes around the boards and taken by Brown. Brown up ahead to center to Stoll. Stoll with a nice move. Stoll still with it. Into the zone. Stoll on his backhand. Throws it toward the net and a save by Grice and a rebound against the right wing side to Brown. Brown tried to center, but it was taken away, and the Coyotes, Klinkhammer back to center ice. Poke checked away from him. Back to the Coyote line, but covering up there is Zbigniew Michalek, 10th year out of the Czech Republic.
4-0 lead, Bob. Worst lead in hockey.
Maybe. I hope not. Puck taken by Klinkhammer. He gets checked, but he comes into the King zone. And his pass to the blue line out of the reach of Michalek and taken at center ice by the Coyotes again. Under 4 minutes to go here in this second period, and it's getting to be a little nervous time for the Kings. Across the line, Michalek. He gets checked, but he comes into the King zone. And his pass to the blue line out of the reach of Michalek and taken at center ice by the Coyotes again. Under 4 minutes to go here in this second period, and it's getting to be a little nervous time for the Kings. Cross the line. into the zone. The puck is taken there. I think back near the King bench was at a check by Brown that everybody was reacting to.
Yeah, Mahalik just put the puck up the ice, and Brown finished his check, and neither guy saw anything wrong with it. He just kept playing.
And the loose puck poked toward the slot, but taken away by the Kings. Trevor Lewis gets it up to center. Chase down there. Kings have it again. Fraser, his shot is wide to the right. Coyotes get 2 goals in 3 minutes and 55 seconds as they try to get right back in this game. Now here's Jordan Nolan. He gets checked there by Antoine Vermette. And another hard check back behind the play, back in the Coyote zone. There's a shot wide to the right side, a hard shot by David Moss. Right point, a shot just deflected wide to the left, and now the Coyotes firing away. That was Derek Morris from the point. Now the puck comes out to center. Coyotes in a line change, but they're going to get there in time because Fraser couldn't catch up with it. They almost got caught there.
You can tell right now, Bob, the Coyotes, the puck's going to go, face-off's going to go all the way down the zone. The Coyotes keeping it simple right here. Simple approach. Put the puck on the net as much as possible. Look for loose pucks. Summarize what's happened so far. First period, all Kings. Second period, the Coyotes chipping away, getting back into things. Kopitar, he's a happy camper. First goal, 27 games. King has a couple. That was back in the first. And again, it hasn't fallen apart by any means, but I just sense that the Coyotes, they talked about it. Keep it simple. With the deficit they had, just get the puck to the net as much as possible. And they've certainly executed that. They've thrown the puck there a couple times. Of course, the last goal from behind the goal line. But previous to that, just throw it there, get it through. And it's happened a couple times since, too.
And the face-off here in the Coyote zone. You saw the graphic. 4 goals in the first period. Most by the Kings in the first period since December 18, 2010. That was against Nashville in a 6-1 Kings victory. Coyotes in the Kings zone again. Now behind the net. Regier with a check there. Klinkhammer looking for it, and he gets it in front. His shot deflected. Well, Klinkhammer went right to the front, and they got it to him, but couldn't get it past Quick. Puck is still in the Kings zone. 2:15 to go in the second period. The Kings trying to get out without giving up another goal here, and then they'd be in trouble. Puck comes back up the middle, and the right point. Schlemko has trouble with it. Throws it down in deep. Taken there by Doan. He gets checked as over to get it. Gowdy checking him, and nobody able to move the puck yet. Now it comes out to the Kings. Here is Williams to center, and he lost the puck, and the Coyotes send it right back in, but an icing call here against Phoenix.
Well, coming up a little bit later, Patrick O'Neill will take us around the National Hockey League for the top performers on our Carl's Jr. Sports Update. So the NHL in action again tonight. Some East Coast, West Coast teams playing on the East, and vice versa, I guess you would say. But it's a Pacific Division battle here. Kings and Coyotes. 1:45, second period. Young and old here enjoying what's going on so far. Still a 2-goal lead.
Coyotes have it. Under 2 minutes to go in the second period, and the Kings up 4-2, and the puck sent to center ice. Carter chasing it down, couldn't get there in time, and the Coyotes have it back in their own zone. Move it up to center ice, and Klinkhammer throws it into the Kings zone. Changing on the fly, the Coyotes, they jump onto the ice and try to keep it alive, but it comes all the way back into the Coyote zone. Kings will be home here on Sunday night. It's a 6 p.m. start. It's Jay Wells as the Kings honor Kings legend Jay Wells in his night. So get here early for the festivities. Sunday night, 6 o'clock, Kings and the Edmonton Oilers.
Bobble fist night. I saw Bob, they were passing some out to the media earlier before the game just to get a look at it, see what it's like. And it is. I think it's great. It's unique. It's, the bobblehead obviously is the obvious thing. Bobble fists for Jay Wells.
Now Larry Murphy and Jim Fox will be Kings legends honored later in the season. Well, is yours going to be a bobblehead?
I think it's going to be a bobblehead. I'm not sure about Larry, but it'll probably be a bobble butt.
He'll be listening to this back in Detroit. Puck up ahead with 30 seconds to go in the period, and across the line, Vodka right side, Vermette with a shot. Verbata with a shot. Now Verbata again right in front of the net, and Quick with a big save there. It came with about 24 seconds to go in the period.
Hanzo taking run at Kings, Rob. He felt he was slashed earlier, then he took a run at Drew Doughty. Nothing developing. Doughty stood there and said, "You want to go? Let's go."
Now up to center ice in the neutral zone. Kings break it up there. Kopitar sends it in. 6 seconds to go in the period. Coyotes trying to get back in the game. They are halfway back. That's the end of 2. And it is 4-2 in favor of the Kings. The only 2 goals in the second period, Jeff Halpern and Martin Hansel scoring for the Coyotes, but they've made it closer than it was at the end of 1. 4-2 Kings.
Nothing to lose attitude by the Coyotes early on in that period, but then they became a much more disciplined team with purpose. Throw the puck to the net, get it to the net, and it worked a couple times.
Well, when we come back, Patrick O'Neill, Sean O'Donnell will have the highlights around the league. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Staples Center. The Kings had the 4-0 lead. I guess a tale of 2 periods so far in this game. Joined right now by Kings assistant coach John Stevens. John, instead of looking back, look forward. Keys to period number 3.
Well, we're going to beat their forecheck. They're starting to press a little bit. D are standing in, and they're starting to stretch the ice a little bit there. We had a really good first period by being quick, really supporting the puck with speed through neutral zone, allowing us to spend time in their zone. So down to 5D here. We need to get pucks in behind their D and not let their feet get turned up ice.
All right, John, thanks very much for that. So the Coyotes, as you mentioned, picked up that forecheck a little bit in the second period. He did mention, too, what we noticed, too, the Kings were real good executing out of their zone in the first. Want more of that here.
Now the third period underway, and the Kings with it. Phoenix is best in the NHL with 14 third-period goals. So the Kings have to be careful here. Here's Kopitar to the blue line to Doughty. Doughty shoots, and a save by Grice, and a rebound got by Williams. It was a hard rebound that came out, and Williams tried to get his stick on it and couldn't do it. Puck back in the Kings zone. Picked up by Doan. He turns, he shoots, and a save by Quick. Now the puck still in the Kings zone. The Coyotes have outscored their opponents this season 14-6 in the third period. And the Kings have a 2-goal lead here as the third period gets underway. Coyotes in their own zone. And back up to center ice is Yandel. Yandel led him in scoring last year. He shoots and it's wide. Rebound off the boards. Hit the back of the net and the Kings back in to get it. Puck comes over on the right side and cleared up to center ice. Kings come back, but a
high stick call here against the Kings, I believe. It looks like.
Wow, way behind the play, wasn't it?
It looks like Klinkhammer was nipped in the face. He's trying to look around. Or who is it here? No, it's actually Chipchura that got something out, and Mitchell's the guilty party, so he's going to go to the bench.
Los Angeles penalty number 33, Myra penalty for high stick.
So the Coyotes get a chance here to start. Breakout's important. We saw one in the first shift here, the third by the Kings. And again, Justin Williams, we saw him earlier in the game. Here's Williams right here. And he's going to come down low and get into a position where it makes it easy for the Kings to break out of the zone. Then you get the support of Kopitar coming over across this way. So this is what the Kings want to see more of. And that's what John Stevens was just talking about. Beat that forecheck, get it going. They did it there, but those penalties hurt the Kings last game. We'll see what happens here.
Coyotes on the power play with a chance to draw to within 1 goal here early in the third period. They have in the Kings zone a shot up high off the glass and out of play.
That's going to go right out, so it looks like a face-off outside. Did not hit anyone from the Kings or the goaltender. It was a drive. It was a drive from a bad angle. But that's what turned around the game for the Coyotes in the second period. They just decided to throw pucks to the net. Barbata, who has real good hands, he has something up top there. He sees a little bit short side, but the head of Jonathan Quick gets in the way, but he shoots high and wide, face off outside.
Now Oliver Ekman-Larsson drives it into the Kings zone. On the power play for the Coyotes. Kings get to it, and it is cleared to the blue line and then out to center ice. Chased down there by Trevor Lewis, but it's out of his reach. And the Coyotes back in to get it. Long pass on the left side. Tipped away by Doughty. Doughty gets knocked down in the corner, and the puck comes out toward the left point. Held in there. They get it over to Ekman-Larsson. Right side. His pass back up the middle to Yandel. Keep Yandel with it. Gives it back over to Ekman-Larsson. The pass almost intercepted by Kopitar. Now Yandel shoots. He scores! And now it's a 4-3 lead for the Kings.
Wrist shot. Get it through. Get the traffic. Make it difficult. And Daryl Sutter looks on, and of course you know that sooner or later games are going to end up being 1-goal games in the NHL, but not when there was a 4-0 lead early. That's the difference. Look at Yandel walk the line. Takes it back one time. Didn't like what he saw. Back once again. Gets into a situation where just throw it there. You see, it's not a slap shot. It's a wrist shot. Now, is there a lot of traffic? Not necessarily. So something, you're assuming something goes on. Yes, it does go on. Off a King. Looks like initially there's going to be an issue, but as he moves across, Jonathan Quick looks like everything's okay. It hits something low, goes high. So that traffic ends up being the difficult issue. And now the Coyotes, completely different story. 18 minutes remaining, they're back within one.
Wow, at one time at the end of the first period, the Kings had a 4-0 lead. Now they're clinging, try and keep this lead. It's 1 goal, 4-3 Kings.
I think Hansel gets a piece of that one, Bob. He scored the second goal, now the third.
Now they got a man in front. It's Moss, but he can't get to the puck.
The assist number 3, Keith Yandel.
Yandel will get an assist, so it was Verbata gets an assist.
151.
Yandel was effective, changing the point of attack by walking the line a couple times, and then when he finally got it, he wasted no time, no hesitation. So you get that movement, you change the point of attack, you change the angle, the lane opens up, gets through.
Coyotes again. Here is Bodker, but he got spun around, and the Kings unable to clear it yet. Right point, shot from there, deflected up the middle, and just bounced away from Bodker. Again, the Coyotes have it. A shot, score, the game is tied. Do you believe this? The Coyotes, down by 4 goals, have tied the game at 4-4.
Well, it's too much defending, not enough attacking. That's what's happened. The Coyotes now have the non-stop motion, moving back and forth, changing lanes. And the Kings get themselves into a chase game. In the first period, it was all about the Kings putting on the pressure. Now, again, you get men back, but you'll see it just happen. Turn and fire. Traffic once again. I think this one may be directed. Ribeiro's there. Does he get a piece of it? It may not matter. It certainly goes all the way down low, and I believe the Kings call a timeout here, so they need to settle down. They need to get back at it. Completely different story. We'll follow it. Does it hit anyone? It may not hit someone there. That's one of those there. If it hits someone, maybe it goes back towards Jonathan Quick. That one may have just floated. But Shane Doan has the big smile. He's laughing, and he should, because the Coyotes have just fought their way back into this one. And you can tell, at least 10 seconds before this tying goal, it was a matter of the Kings chasing around their own zone, and that's unusual for the Kings. Normally when you get into a situation where you feel like things are getting away, you go to a spot on the ice and you kind of stay at home, stay under control. Not the case. The Kings were chasing, and the chasing catches up with them. You never catch up with that puck, and we're tied 4-4.
Now there's only one linesman out. It's Shane Hires. So the other linesman apparently injured. Darren Gibbs.
Yeah, so now they've made the communication to both benches. The referees have. They're talking. Justin St. Pierre's over there right now at the Coyotes bench. So they'll have to adjust how they work things. Usually the linesman just takes control here and still handles both blue lines. We'll have to see if that's the case.
2 goals in 59 seconds of the third period have tied the game. The Coyotes and the Kings 4-4. Coyotes again. Shot by Hansel. Knocked down behind the net. Hansel goes for it again. Chipchura's there. Tipped away and picked up by Williams, and he pokes it up ahead, and King clears it to center to Regehr. Regehr gets checked there, and the puck back in the Coyote zone. Puck is picked up now in the Coyotes. Long pass into the King zone, and an icing call here against the Coyotes.
I talked with Robin Regehr this morning at the morning skate about the penalty kill. Of course, it was so strong earlier in the year, allowed 3 goals last game, another big goal here by the Coyotes. And he said it's about straight lines and, making sure you're not running out of position, but when you go, it's the straight line is always the fastest way between 2 points. And when you're doing that, you've got to have your stick in the passing lanes. Again, the Coyotes did a good job on goal number 3, changing the point of attack with the Yandel especially, but that big power play goal early in the game is now neutralized by a power play goal here to start the third.
So the face-off now in the Coyote zone. Kings with a draw, and fanning on a shot was Muzzin. Doan gets the goal that tied the game at 4, and it comes 59 seconds after they came to 4-3. Slashing is a penalty here.
Yeah, Muzzin's going to go to the box. The stick snaps of the Coyotes, and now Vermette goes to the bench to get a new stick because he was stood up by Muzzin. Muzzin took a whack, and it's the almost automatic nowadays that when you break someone's stick on a slash, you're going to go to the penalty box, and there it is right there. You can see the hard swing. The contact's there, the stick goes, and the player usually just, hey, my stick's broken. And the referee time and time again calls that. So now it's about the penalty kill. Now it's about those straight lines, stick position. Huge kill coming up here. The Kings need it.
And off the draw in the Kings zone. Loose puck is taken by the Kings and chipped out to center ice. Chased in deep now by Lewis. He chipped it there, and he goes for it for the back of the net, but the Coyotes dig it out. Muzzin for slashing at 3:31. And the Kings have blown a 4-goal lead at the end of one period. Coyotes with a chance to get the lead for the first time tonight. They get it back to the blue line. Yandel shoots. Save off the arm of Quick.
Hansel again, big body in front. He was in front for goal 3. We believe it went off of him. Went low to high, maybe off the boot of his skate. That time there, just creating trouble for Quick, so Quick does not feel comfortable.
Stolen by Richards. Looking for a shorthander with Carter. Richards shoots. He scores!
Wow.
A turn of events in favor of the Kings. A shorthanded goal by Richards. The Kings' third shorthanded goal of the year. And they lead again 5-4.
Turnover. Verbata gets caught with speed but has nowhere to go, and Richards picks the pocket. Then the move at the end to finish. Richards has Carter. Take it, and wait. You see, he didn't jam it. He felt that his momentum was enough to get it by the sliding pad of the goaltender. And it was a smart read. It was the right read by Mike Richards. A lot of times guys overreact and just jam it once they think they're by the goaltender. Verbata coughs it up. Costly right there. Kings back in front.
As you saw, his first of the season for Richards, and the Kings have a 5-4 lead, but the Coyotes still with a power play and a shot knocked away. Unassisted goal by Richards. Kings try to get to it, and they can't. Held in by Derek Morris. He drives it back behind the net. King zone. Regier chips it into the corner to King. King gets checked there. 4:19 the time of that goal, and the Kings chase it down off the stick there of Kopitar. He catches up and he clears into the Coyote zone. 2 shots on this power play for the Coyotes. Kings had 2 shorthanded goals all of last year, and that's the 3rd they've had this year. That goal by Richards. Coyotes pass up the middle, tip back to the blue line. Now they hold it in still on the power play, but it's tipped out to center ice with 15 seconds to go on the King penalty.
Again, Yandel trying to take over right there. The Coyotes get caught in one. A lot of teams use the drop pass on breakouts on power plays, but Mike Richards, the veteran, anticipated, broke it up.
Chipchura sends it across the line into the King zone. Stoll in to get it. Kings are back at full strength. Stoll still battling, and the Coyotes try to pick up the puck. They get it out to the right point. Shot from there, and a save, and then a hard check as Green threw that check, and the Kings clear it again. They get called for icing here.
Now Hansel goes back at Green. Hansel's a big, strong guy. He's been a factor in front of the net, but as soon as Green came over, he went down trying to draw the penalty. Again, the anticipation of Mike Richards on the penalty kill. Richards is right here in the middle. Here's the drop man, Verbata. The puck will be dropped to him with speed, but watch the swoop effect. You're going to stop here. Now it's straight at him. And Mike Richards watched the stick and the skates. The stick is there to take away room, and Verbata already loses the puck because he felt the stick of Richards, then hold just long enough to get around the goaltender.
Kings with it in their own zone, drive it to the blue line and out to center ice. Chase down there, and a hard check thrown as Schlemko got over to check Trevor Lewis.
That turnover there, Bob, by Mike Richards may have been part of scouting. You scout the other teams. You know they're going to use that drop on the power play breakout. And he read it. As soon as the puck was dropped, he was right there like a linebacker waiting for a full, someone to come right through the line. He was there. He was there, and it surprised Verbata.
Ribeiro throws it into the corner of the King zone. Doughty had it. Ribeiro gets it back again, now to the blue line and out to center ice. Coyotes back to get it. Zbigniew Michalek sends it across the King line. Now a backhand pass does not clear the zone. Carter got his stick on it. Now the Kings have it. Back to center ice. Here is Brown. Brown, his pass deflected. Taken by the Kings again, though, and in the Coyote zone. Taken away by Phoenix. They get it up to center ice. Ribeiro hanging on to it. Comes across the line. He gets double teamed and knocked down. Green was there. As the puck taken now by Muzzin up to center ice. It was Green and Richards with that check. Puck comes back into the Coyote zone. 13 minutes to go in the third. The Kings have a 5-4 lead, but they had a 4-0 lead at the end of one. Now to the King line, broken up by Muzzin, but the Coyotes with it and a shot wide to the right side. As along the boards, the shot was wide by Brandon Yip. Coyotes hold it in the King zone. A shot saved by Quick, and he hangs on. And we'll have the face-off coming up.
It worked before for the Coyotes, just get it on net. But Mike Richards, the veteran, spots the breakout, anticipates the breakout. Great hands, 5-4 Kings.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Patrick O'Neill with the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. Well, San Jose was 1 second away from remaining the last unbeaten team in regulation, but no, David Krejci with 0.8 of a second left, and Boston beat San Jose 2-1. Alex Ovechkin, his 10th goal in 10 games. Washington over Edmonton 4-1. And Roberto Luongo as master best pupil. He beats Corey Schneider. 28 saves, 17 in the third. Vancouver over New Jersey 3-2 in a shootout. Foxy, what jumps out at you?
Jumps out at me? What jumps out at me?
Ovechkin, right?
What jumps out at me?
Pay attention.
Montreal jumps out at me.
Kings get it up ahead to center, but out of the reach of Kopitar, and icing called against the Kings here. So a face-off. The Kings got the first 4 goals, the Coyotes the next 4, and then the Kings went ahead on the shorthanded goal by Richards.
So the timeout was called by the Kings, and whether that had a settled down effect, we have to assume it might have been. Face-off goes to center ice here, which is normally when you make a mistake on a call, the face-off goes to center ice to make it as neutral as possible. Keep in mind there's only, well, there was one linesman, now both linesmen are back. So we've seen that a couple times, Bob, on that, working out the new hybrid icing, and sometimes you make the wrong decision, you talk about it, you get a right face-off. Instead of penalizing the team, go to center ice.
When the whistle blew, the Kings were questioning this, what we thought was an icing call against the Kings, and it was a mistake, so they faced it off at center ice. Kings send it back into the Phoenix zone, and King trying to get to it, but it's batted away from him, taken by Doughty. Now chipped in toward Kopitar. Kopitar, as he has it along the right wing boards. Kopitar still with it. His drive deflected off of Klemko and wide of the net. The Phoenix defenseman now up ahead to Doan. Shane Doan gives it left side and in deep. Shot up high and over the net by Ribeiro. He was doing a little dipsy doodle there on Regehr.
Yeah, the old pull and drag. And Regehr at least did the right thing by not allowing Ribeiro to get by him. It's a one-on-one situation, and Ribeiro did have Regehr thinking, going one way, going the other. And like I mentioned, at least Ribeiro couldn't get body position, pull the trigger, then over the glass off a deflection.
On the goal by Shane Doan to tie the game, they've changed an assist. Coyotes have it at the blue line. Antoine Vermette put it back behind the net. They've given the assist now to Morris and Yandel, taking one away from Bodker. Puck is still in the zone and chased in by Moss to the blue line. Shot from there is blocked. The shot by Derek Morris, and the Kings have it. Back to center ice they come with a 5-4 lead. Down the left side, backhander by Stoll, and a glove save by Thomas Greiss.
Now the opposition gives you the outside. That's what usually happens. You get the speed. Stoll looking to keep things simple north-south, and when Greiss gets it into his gloves like that, less of a chance, much less of a chance of a rebound. So I think if Jared had a chance to do it over again, you get that backhand, you get it down low into the pads. We saw that earlier with Frazier, rebound to Nolan. It's almost becoming the set play in the NHL. I know a couple years ago, Bobby started talking about it. You're shooting not to score. You're shooting for the rebound because goaltenders are so good nowadays down low.
Kings have Richards on at center. Fratton lines up on the left wing, and Carter on the right side. Coyote zone. Puck is picked up and cleared to center ice by Phoenix. Radim Verbata throws it down the right side. Chipchura going for it. He goes behind the net. Puck comes back into the corner to Hansel. Chipchura to Hansel. Taken away by the Kings, and back they come to center ice. Chipped down in deep by Fratton, but he overskated there, and it's taken away by Chipchura, and he got it all the way back into the Kings zone. And it is chased down and an icing call here against Phoenix.
Kings fans, are you a super fan? If so, tell us why. LAKingsSuperFan.com, presented by Delta. 8 Kings fans will be chosen based on their level of devotion. Compete against one another for a trip to New York. Kings will be at the Rangers November 17th. To get tickets, you also get there. Delta Business Elite Hotel, everything LA Kings superfan now to enter.
We mentioned at the start of the third how effective Phoenix is in the third period. Now, up to date, with 2 goals in the third, they have outscored opponents 16-7 in the third period. Kings have a 5-4 lead. Face off in the Coyote zone, and Stratton along the boards gets it to the blue line, but it's chipped out to center ice. Kings have it again. Pass ahead across the line. Here is a shot by Carter, deflected wide. He got it from Richards, and the Coyotes have it.
When you have that many goals in the third period, it's about a belief system. Things may not go well early in games or you're playing a tight game, but if you believe, and Dave Tippett certainly has his team believing so far this year, and very, very much success in period number 3.
Well, you got to be impressed with a team that really did not play well at all in the first period. Had some bad luck at times, maybe, with some deflected shots, and leave the ice trailing 4-0 on the road. How easy is it to say this is not our night, and yet they come back and tied it up. Now the Kings have the lead again at 5-4.
The one thing they changed in the second was, and they were down 4-0 at the time, was simple, throw it at the net. Halpern gets the goal. Again, you know, the rule of thumb is you need a defenseman in front of the net. And Regerin Doughty left the front. There was no one there, so he gets the loose puck. But then they just kept doing that. They just kept throwing it there. And if it didn't go in the net, it did one thing. It put the Kings back on their heels. It was a simple approach, and they had to. They just had to keep it simple, and it worked for them.
Kings throw it into the zone, and taken there by Derek Morris of the Coyotes. Morris sent it up along the boards. Williams tried to hold it in. King is over there battling for it. And it is still in the Coyote zone, and still a battle along the boards. Coyotes dig it out, but the Kings go for it. Here's Kopitar. Kopitar, right wing side. Kopitar still with it. Threw it down in behind the net. Williams goes for it. Williams still battling with Halpern, and the puck taken by Dwight King. He's got 2 goals tonight. He threw it right back in front. It came out to the blue line. Picked up there, and a shot by Muzzin is blocked. And back up to center ice, the Coyotes. And it's thrown down in deep by Brandon Yip, right toward Quick, and he covers up. So we have 9:19 to go in the third. The Kings clinging to a 1-goal lead.
Lead on. Jake Kopitar got things started back in the first period, his first goal of the season. But then, when the Kings took a 2-0 lead, SoCal Honda, dealer's assist of the game. It's the back pass, behind the back, right, everyone, oh, he can't, yes he can, he makes the pass right on the stick, quick release by Dwight King. That made it 2-0, of course it was 4-0, then it was 4-4, short-handed Mike Richards. Kings lead, 5-4.
In the King zone, Kopitar moves in to take the face-off for the Kings. Antoine Vermette facing off for the Coyotes, and the loose puck, Coyotes have it. Right point, shot from there, deflected wide, picked up and thrown in front by Moss, but deflected back against the boards. Kings trying to get to it again, down in the corner, and picked up by Willie Mitchell. Now cleared up ahead to center ice. Dwight King going for there, couldn't get his stick on it. Back across the King line, where Williams brings it to center ice, but the Coyotes, Vermette keeps it in play, and now a shot from the blue line wide to the left side by McCulloch. Coyotes trying to tie it up again. They came from 4 goals down to tie it up. Then a shorthanded goal by Mike Richards has given the Kings a 5-4 lead. Pass to Brown. Brown gets spun around, but he gets a pass up the middle, taken away by Vermette with a shot and a save by Quick. Kings get it up to center ice. 2-on-2. Cross the line, right side, and it is tipped away there as cutting down the right side was Trevor Lewis.
Yandel had to do a lot of work there because he just came off the bench and he was flat-footed. Lewis had a whole bunch of speed. The one thing Yandel did initially, the right thing, put Lewis to the outside, at least slowed him down a bit.
Now here's Martin Hansel. Hansel across the line, but coming back to take it away, Jeff Carter. Carter gets it up ahead to Richards. Richards to the blue line. Richards pass right side to Doughty. Doughty gets wrapped up there and pretty close to a penalty on Verbata. Kings have it. Richards, his pass up the middle. Now Doughty. Doughty shoots, score! Richards tipped it in. And the Kings have a 2-goal lead at 6-4.
You can sense the speed of the game changing, and it was changing for the Kings. Matt Pratt, a lot of talk about him. Look at Carter creates the loose puck, and there's the deflection. Matt Fratton gets in position. The Kings had two men there. Look at this, 2 in a row. The front man gets it to Fratton. But just the whole game was changing with a little bit more speed to the attack by the Kings. That ends up being kind of a psycho goal. Saw Jeff Carter turn and fling it. He had a great back check a shift ago. And Carter's been real good on the back check all night long. What a weird one we have tonight. Looked like it was going to be all Kings, then the Coyotes. Now it's all Kings again.
Well, my mistake. I saw Carter there, or excuse me, Richards there, and I thought he got his stick on it, but
He was there.
yeah, he was there. And a penalty coming up here against the Coyotes, as far as we know, holding the call. And the Kings with a 6-4 lead. Fratton with his first goal in a King uniform. There you see him on the bench.
And they got the puck for him, too. Jeff Carter got the puck for a souvenir. His first goal with the Kings. Not of his career, but everyone involved. The Kings in position. Everyone, you see Doughty, he was in position initially. There's Carter. Now what happens is when he turns around, they're going to stop here, guys. 1, 2. Right there. Now, they're not screening. The goaltender has a chance to see it, but then there's a change in direction because of Fratton. That man right there, he gets his stick on it, big goal.
Doughty shoots, and it's just deflected wide to the right. Held in by the Kings. Here is Voinov to Doughty. Going to try it again. No, gives it to Voinov. Voinov shoots. Knocked down in front. Loose puck taken by Williams. And Williams' pass comes all the way back down in the King zone. Matt Fratton, with his first goal as a King, makes it 6-4 Kings. Kings bring it to center ice on the power play. Here is Kopitar across the line. It's sent in by Brown and then taken away and cleared back into the King zone as the Kings chase it down. Brown gets another assist. And, Doughty and Carter get the assist at 12-11. And the Kings have a 2-goal lead. Now right side, cutting in, pass in front, and just not getting good wood on it was Fratton. He had a great chance as Carter gave him the puck, but he didn't get a good shot, and it's cleared back into the King zone.
You talk about a skating game. Jeff Carter has been skating all night with the puck, without the puck, offensively, defensively. I know everyone has to take part in a game like this, but a little bit of... Well, now we have more pushing after Fratton. We got the last one. Maybe the Coyotes a little bit frustrated because of how, hard they had to work to come back, and now the Kings regaining that lead. But Jeff Carter sticks out to me just for the skating and how that skating has had an effect on the game. He's been taking the puck into the zone wide. He's been back checking smartly. So you use energy, but you're smart at the same time. That last one, after Fratton scored, he tried to get the puck to Fratton again because he had speed on the outside. So just a great game. And changing Carter into the middle and putting Richards on the left, and they play together, doesn't change much. But now that speed is coming from a different point, maybe through the middle a bit more. And it's had an effect on the line.
Face off on the power play in the Coyote zone. Kings have 2 shots on this power play, but the Coyotes clear it. Again, a reminder, Kings home Sunday night, 6 p.m. Jay Wells Legends Night. Be here early. And the Kings take on the Edmonton Oilers, who got beat by the Washington Capitals tonight, 4-1. Puck sent down in deep. Fratton out on the ice again for the Kings. Fratton behind the net. Goes into the corner, lost it to Hansel. Fratton went down to the ice. Richards is there battling for it. Carter takes it. Carter with a backhander and a save by Grice.
I don't know if they're going to let him off the ice, and I don't blame Daryl Sutter if that's the case. Stay out there as long as you can. You'll finally get a chance to change here. Next game, Bobby mentioned Sunday, Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins missed the first part with shoulder. Perron comes over from St. Louis. He has more offense. Of course, the Oilers don't need offense. Andrew Ference, maybe the biggest pickup for the Oilers, that veteran defenseman presence, just trying to show the other guys because the Oilers have so many of the same type of player. They're all skilled. They're all fast. But you need different ingredients to be successful, and the Oilers trying to put it together.
Coyotes got this draw and cleared it into the Kings zone. They've still got 8 seconds left to serve on their penalty. Kings have 3 shots on this power play. Kings with a 2-goal lead here across the line. Pass down into the corner. Chased in. Reguer was near it, but he decided to pull back in. There's a shot by Brown and a save and a rebound. Just out of the reach there of Stoll. Now the Kings with it again. Brown tried to give it to the blue line, and Doughty couldn't get over there in time. 5:14 to go in the third. The Kings have taken the lead here at 6-4 on goals by Richards and Fratton, each with their first of the year. Brown's pass up the middle, held in but taken away now by the Coyotes and cleared out to center ice.
Kings tried to get the five-man forecheck going with both Voynov and Mitchell involved, so that's a good sign, not backing off. Keep going forward here.
Kings bring it up to center ice, pass over on the left wing, tipped ahead across the line by Kopitar. Kopitar bats it out of midair. Puck comes still along the left wing boards, and Kopitar tried to get it into Dwight King. King with 2 goals tonight. Back to Kopitar to the blue line to Willie Mitchell. Mitchell shoots, and it's deflected up in the air. And Williams with a backhander and a save by Grice. 4:27 to go in the third, and the Kings, after being tied, now have a 6-4 lead. Matt Fratton had a goal.
A bunch of firsts tonight for the Kings. Andrzej Kopitar gets his first goal. Took a while to develop. Power play early. Turn, fires, zing, right to the top corner. Kings keep the puck alive. Kopitar on the board. Mike Richards, another centerman, although he's a left winger. Maybe that's why he scored tonight. This is shorthanded. Good anticipation, good stick, good body, and a great finish. And Matt Pratt coming over in the trade just keeps it alive. Big right there off the stick. Good deflection. Kings first. Big impact tonight.
Coyotes get to this and clear it out to center ice. 11 Kings have factored into the scoring tonight. The Kings' 6 goals in this game ties the most in a game in the regular season under Daryl Sutter. They did it twice before last season, March 5th and 9th. Of course, they did it final game of the Stanley Cup, June 11, 2012. Shot from the right side by Schlemko and a save by Quick, and he hangs on. So tonight, King with 2 goals, Kopitar a goal and an assist, Williams 2 assists, and Brown 2 assists.
Daryl Sutter normally says, Bob, it's a 3-2 league. Well, right now it's double that. And let's just keep it that way.
Yeah.
We don't need any more here, but the Coyotes, because of what's happened this game so far, that's probably in the back of their mind to, okay, there's still a chance, and obviously there still is. Richards, his strong side here, left side, will take the face-off against Ribeiro.
And the puck goes into the corner to Doan. Shane Doan, who's got a goal tonight, he's leaned on by Regehr. And who's going to get the puck is picked up again by the Coyotes in deep, and a pass to the blue line. Morris shoots wide. Rebound behind the net. Bodker let it go there. Now a battle down in the corner as the puck comes back to the blue line again to Derek Morris. Morris.
Interference, Bob, at the top. It's going to be Doan. And this is one of the best shifts of the night the Coyotes had going on the forecheck. They had the cycle, they had defense involved, and Doan argues it. He took down Jeff Carter. Carter was trying to get out to his point man. And the contact was Doan and Carter. You can see it in the back. Doan just stuck out his hip. Then he goes down too at the same time, trying to probably take the emphasis off of Carter going down. He just stuck out the hip. And as I mentioned, that was a shift where the Coyotes were really controlling, had the Kings running around.
Well, the Kings 1 of 4 on the power play with 9 shots, and they can take a big step toward winning this game here with a power play goal. Kings have it back in their own zone. Now for the Coyotes, when you're trying to make up a 2-goal deficit, now you're shorthanded for a couple of minutes, unless the Kings score, which would be fine. Puck comes across the line to Kopitar. Kopitar's in deep in the zone, throws it around the right point to Doughty.
I like your thinking.
And it's tipped off of the stick of Doughty back to center ice. Backpedals into the King zone. And almost taken away there, but the Kings get it back to center. Under 3 minutes to go in the game now. Right side, here is Williams. Williams, pass taken away. Now a break down the left side. Verbata cutting in alone. Verbata in front. Waits, shoots off the post and wide to the right. He almost beat Quick. Back come the Kings. Cross the line. Brown, his shot blocked. Brown goes for it again.
Kings were sloppy there. Justin Williams made a play that you don't have to make a play. You have a 2-goal lead. You have a power play. Really no need to pass through someone. I know what he's trying to do. I know he's trying to keep it alive and keep it going, but certain situations, time and score dictate things, so you don't need to make passes through people here with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, you got enough right now. If they don't score anymore, you win the game. So into the corner is Schlemko, and he clears up to center ice. Knocked down there by Willie Mitchell. 35 seconds left to go in the King power play.
You like the aggressiveness, you like the confidence, but at the same time, you don't want to put the other team in a position where they can make something happen.
Long shot wide, 2 minutes left to go in regulation. Kings up by 2. Puck is cleared back to center ice, and 19 seconds remain in the King power play.
Vrbata made the move he wanted to on that breakaway. He just held on. He was patient. He waited for the goaltender to kind of slide out of position. Just off the post.
Up ahead to center ice, but out of the reach of Dwight King, and the Coyotes send it back in. In 2 seconds, they're going to be back at full strength, and they are right now. Out of the penalty box is Doan. Kings have it. Doan goes after Regehr. Regehr clears it up to center ice. Chipped down in deep by Stoll. Stoll down in deep, and down in the corner, he gets double teamed. If the Kings win, we'll bring you the 3 stars, and we'll have an interview with the star. Here's Doughty, shoots just wide, rebound to King.
That was Dwight King again. He got the rebound, but he also deflected the shot.
Now the Kings again. There's Regehr with a shot saved by Greiss. 1:09 to go in regulation. Again, the Kings, but a pass taken away. Lewis's pass intercepted and up to center ice. Hanging on to it, the Coyotes. And Shane Doan with 1 minute to go in regulation. Now they pull the goaltender. The net is wide open at the other end. Coyotes, Yandel, his shot blocked. Rebound, shot wide. Rebound picked up by Ribeiro. Coyotes' net is wide open. Yandel shoots, blocked in front. Regehr was there. Again, the Coyotes have it. A shot wide, and the puck out to the right point. Shot from there, knocked down. Rebound, Ribeiro put it in front. Again, a shot wide to the left side by Bodker. Again, the Coyotes. Ribeiro, his shot deflected. Now picked up by Kopitar. He's got an empty net. He gets it up to the left side. King for the hat trick. King shoots. He scores! His first career hat trick for Dwight King. And the Kings have a 7-4 lead. What a game. Started out great. Kings led 4-0, got tied at 4, and got the next 3 goals. 3 of them tonight by Dwight King.
And let's hope this is the start of something, I'm going to say, special for Dwight King, and then, just making him understand how important he can be to this team. We talked about him earlier. He can get by playing the heavy game, by taking the body and be effective that way, but the Kings want more. Kopitar looked for Dwight King here. Watch this. You see him? Look at that. He looked once, and then he knows who he wants to get the puck to. Half because he's the man that's open, and half because he knows Dwight King's looking for the hat trick. And now the big smiles. Dwight was exceptional early on. The body position, the quick release, go to the front. Again, that was one of the what to watch for is while we had the shift in the lines and King playing with Kopitar and Williams, and certainly that had an effect on the game. And we'll wrap things up in a few moments. The Mazda post-game show, of course, brought to you by your Southern California Mazda dealers. It's coming up right after the game. And what a game it will be to wrap it up. They're still throwing hats. Delayed reaction. They get all the ice crew out there to clear the ice. They leave, and then they throw more hats on.
The hat trick for Dwight King. The Kings are going to win their 6th game in the last 8. The assist to Kopitar at 1938.
Because of Dwight King's hat trick, 30%
on the hat trick. And now the puck back in the Coyote zone. 12 seconds to go. We're going to have the 3 stars. We'll have the Kings live coming up right after the game. Interviews and comments, highlights at center ice. Puck taken by the Kings, and this game is over. The Kings get 38 shots in the game. Phoenix gets 28, but it was not as easy as this score is going to indicate. 7-4.
That's right. You think of a 7-4 game. Well, the Kings had a 3-2 lead early, and they held on, and then they got. No, that's not the case. Weird game all night long, but a great start. Certainly got away from them. At the end, you'll have a big smile. You go back to the drawing board, look at a few things you want to correct, but. The first, we talked about him, Kopitar, Richards, first goal, Stratton, first goal, first career hat trick, Dwight King. The Kings get 7. One's an empty netter. They win it 7-4.
And now for the 3 stars, here's Dave Joseph.
And now it's time to announce the Staples 3 stars of the game. Tonight, Staples' third star from your Kings with an assist, number 8, Drew Doughty. Tonight, Staples' second star from your Kings with his first career hat trick, number 74, Dwight King. And the Staples first star from your Kings with a goal and 2 assists, number 11, Ajay Kopitar. Now, fans, please turn your attention to the Kings bench as Dwight King joins Fox Sports West's Patrick O'Neill. Patrick?
Hey, David, thank you very much. So joining us is Dwight King. Hey, congrats on the hat trick. I'm outside, you're inside. There's hats probably all picked up and on the ice. What was it like for your first hat trick there?
It was good. Obviously, I got to give credit to my line mates. They gave me some opportunities, and obviously the empty net kind of shows that when Kopi gave me a clean look at it.
All right, so we're going to look at it right now. Tell me what you're thinking when he gives it to you.
I knew I had to step once he makes the pass here, and my initial thought was just get it to the net and beat the goalie.
And once it went in, again, your thoughts on the first career hat trick and it coming in a victory for the Kings over the Coyotes?
It's nice. Obviously, you get 3 goals. It's a good night, but it's even better for our team to put up 7 goals.
Tell me what it's like playing with Ajay Kopitar. Obviously a team win, but him giving you some clean looks, and you were very strong early in this game.
It's great. He's probably the best player on our team, and when you get to play with a guy like that, it makes the job a little bit fun.
If you could, strange game, up 4-0. They tie it at 4. What was the mood there on the bench?
I just had to refocus. Obviously, the start of a third wasn't our best hockey, and we called a timeout, regrouped, and got back to what we know.
And not a bad shorthanded goal by Mr. Richards.
No, it was beautiful.
Hey, thank you so much. Congratulations on your first career hat trick, Dwight, and hopefully many more to come.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dwight King has been our guest. Kings victorious. We're expected to have Jonathan Quick as a live guest, joining me and Sean O'Donnell. Alex Curry's going to be getting some more reaction from the Kings dressing room, and Jim Fox will join us as well. Wow, what a game. What a victory for the LA Kings, and we will discuss it when Kings Live comes up right after the break. Stay there.